Hey guys, today we're going to be doing a full unboxing and review of this Erabros RS1 vacuum. I do have to mention that they did send this out to me for this review, and I'm super excited to check this thing out. It has some pretty unique features that sets this apart from some of the other carpet cleaners that I've tested in the past, such as no roller that gets clogged with hair. Instead, they have a suction design, and you guys could remote control this with your phone like an RC car. So sounds pretty fun to me. Let's go ahead and get into what's inside the box. All right, so this is everything that you guys get in the box. First thing, you guys have the actual robot vacuum. We have big rubber wheels that do give it really good clearance to kind of get up on tall, shaggy carpets. We have no roll that's usually on vacuums like this. It's actually just a suction port. So you're gonna have two of these arms installed on either side, and they're going to push all the debris straight into this port. So it's a tangle-free design. We also have sensors that are built into this that will help prevent it from just driving down stairs. So that's pretty helpful. We also do have some buttons on the top. We have a return to home button right here, and then the power button. There is some foam right here on the bumper, so just make sure that you guys remove these pieces before you guys use it. So we'll definitely mess around with this more in just a moment and check out the app, but here is the charging station. It's pretty simple. Obviously, this is not a self-emptying robot vacuum, so you guys will remove it yourself, but here's where it's gonna charge. And this is the cable for it. You just plug it in right here. Of course, you guys get a user manual. They even give you some zip ties just to kind of help cable manage, an extra filter, a cleaning tool for the actual vacuum, a remote, and it does come with 2 AAA batteries. And of course, we have 4 of these brush arms, so we get 2 extra. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this set up, and I'll meet back with you guys in a little after this thing gets a full charge and I get to test it out for a little. During that part of the review, we're gonna focus on the app and all of its functions, and of course, how well this cleans, and I'll show you some cleaning footage. So with that being said, I'll see you guys in just a little. So it's been a few hours, and I know a lot more about this machine now, and it's all charged up, so we could go ahead and do a quick test. Before we do that, now that I know all the in and outs about the machine, I just wanted to show you a few things that I missed. So here's how you guys get to the desk compartment. This honestly kind of stumped me until I saw this little arrow. So it's actually pretty cool. You guys can just lift it out of here, and you have like a carrying handle and everything. So everything just goes straight in here. It's very easy to open up and clean. And you guys have filters here that you guys could keep track of to make sure they stay clean. And of course, this is where that replacement filter they gave us goes. It's honestly a pretty cool system. I really like it. On the bottom here, I just snapped these on. They literally just press into place. And to remove them, just pull up, and that's basically all you have to do. So it's very easy to replace these. I also have the battery loaded up with their AAAs, and here it shows you all of the different modes. So we have spot treatment, so that'll just clean up like a spill. We have the auto mode, which basically tries to roam around your house and uses the sensors to avoid hitting things. Then we have the edge mode. This one will just basically go around the perimeter inside of your house. So this is what the app looks like. It's called Smart Life, and actually a bunch of different devices use this. So I had it pre-installed in my phone, and basically you have to connect it. I didn't have to do anything special. I just made sure the machine was on, which there's basically just a switch right here. You need to make sure that's switched on, and then you guys could charge without the dock with that. So just make sure that your phone has Wi-Fi and Bluetooth on, and basically you just add it. If you're not seeing it, what you guys can do is hold these 2 buttons down for 3 seconds, and that should put it in pairing mode. So back to the app, we have a bunch of settings, basically everything on the remote and some. So we have a battery status indicator, we have a cleaning time indicator, a start, we have a charge button, which should send it home. I assume that's gonna be the same as this button, just a different logo. I find that a little weird, but it'll get the job done. Of course, all of the settings that we talked here, and my favorite part, manual. So you guys could actually control this like an RC car with either the remote via these arrows or the app. So this is super fun. Honestly, full disclosure, I was playing around with this thing for about 20 minutes before this, just driving it around. My dogs love this thing, turns out. We also have a scheduling function, so you guys could set this up so it cleans every day or every other day at a certain time. Then we have a few other settings here, just a few more before we get to the test. We have the Find My Robot, so it's gonna make it beep. Then we have the consumable part status, and basically this just shows us how much life is left in the filters and our brushes. All right, so we have a sample mess here. We have a bunch of tortilla chips. I tried to do this before and I realized the camera wasn't even on, so we're giving this another try. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna press the pause button, and that should tell it to turn on. And now we'll just tap the forward arrow. And it helps if you point it at the machine. So I'm going to be controlling this myself. So for one pass, that's looking pretty good. We definitely have some more to clean up. So I'm gonna go ahead and use the mobile app here. And it's a little weird to use because right now it's backwards. So it's confusing to understand, but you just have to remember front arrow is front for the machine, not actually your perspective. What's a little weird is it turns off. So if you guys don't get the direction right, it'll turn off and then like you'll have to wait for it to wind back up. But other than that, it's doing pretty good. So right now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you another function that ideally would make more sense. This is just kind of like a party trick. So we're gonna do the spot treatment, and what it should do is just a bunch of loops here. So it's gonna get everything. And right now I've been pretty impressed with how well it's cleaning up for not having the brush on the bottom. It just has those arms and that suction tube, and it's doing surprisingly well. I will say the arms have kicked some of the chip debris around a little bit, but it has picked up about 90% of the crumbs so far. So that's pretty good. While this is running, I will say this is pretty quiet. So that's another benefit of this machine. I've gone through a few of these robot vacuums at this point and tested a bunch of them. And I really like how quiet this one is. I don't know if it has something to do with that roller brush not being in this design here, but whatever they did, it's really quiet and seems to be doing a great job. Everywhere that it's hit in this little circle here, every single crumb's gone. So I think I trust this thing to clean up the rest of this. Obviously it's gonna take a while and you may not wanna wait through all that because it's doing fairly tight circles here, but it's doing a good job. So let me show you the edge mode. Basically it's gonna go ahead and look for an edge, and of course it's gone the wrong direction here. All right, so we're gonna try edge mode again because it was coming towards the camera tripod. So now you guys should be able to see it tracking this edge really well. And it's actually staying surprisingly close to the edge of my walls and all my appliances here. Because of those arms, it should do a good job at getting into like kind of the nooks and crannies in my kitchen here, and possibly a little under my oven because those arms stick out just like that much. And we'll see how this does here. All right, so lastly, we're gonna do the auto. So we're gonna see what auto does. Probably just gonna bounce around until it hits stuff. That's usually what these robots do, unless if they have the actual smart mapping function. As you guys can see, this thing's cleaning up the last few crumbs and it's not leaving much behind. All right, so let's go ahead and see what our dust tank's looking like. At this point, should have a good amount of stuff in here. So pull from this side, and we pull this up and we have a bunch of chips and other gross debris. Alrighty, so I'll be honest, I was a little worried with how this would perform, being that there's no center brush right here, kind of throwing everything in. But for its design, yep, it thinks it's dying. Anyways, this thing does a great job even without having that center roll, and that's gonna be way easier to clean for your machine. So overall, I think this machine's great. I absolutely love the remote function. It's a great party trick and it's fun and honestly practical if you guys are a little bit lazy like myself. So anyways, that's my full review and unboxing of this robot vacuum.